Welcome back.
Welcome.
Thank you guys for all of the love on episodes 1 and 2 of The Couch Diary.
The Couch Diary. Yay.
Woo-woo.
It's been crazy.
Yeah, it has. It's been a while since we filmed too, so
Feels good to be back.
It does. It does. And thank you guys for leaving like such encouraging comments, messages. If you got our stickers, shout out to y'all. We're going to be putting our stickers in other spots around the city. So if you ever see them,
take a pic
and tag us.
And we can like give out stickers
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, like Micha Fest and Lala.
Yeah, Micha Fest, Lala.
Yeah.
We'll give out stickies.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're back with us for episode 3, we really appreciate y'all. Bienvenidos a los besties. So today Sophia and I were talking about like what we were going to discuss during this episode's topic. And I think we should call this Seasons and Reasons, because we have gotten a few people commenting and messaging us that they want us to talk about friendship breakups.
Yeah, and that's something that we talk about all the time anyway.
Yeah.
And I feel like we didn't film it in the beginning because it is kind of like
a personal topic.
Yeah, and we already have been pretty vulnerable. Like, I know people have commented like,
yeah,
appreciate your vulnerability, but like friends is even like I can yap about men all day, but
all day.
Yapping about friendship, like breakups and friendship, is a little bit harder.
Breakups with guys are like, yeah, my heart hurts for a little bit, like I'll get over it. But friendship breakups hit different. Yeah. So,
but we'll get into it.
Yeah, let's jump right on it.
It happens to everyone.
It does.
It really does.
So I was thinking about this, and I feel like every friendship, like, it's 50-50. It should be 50-50. Like, you pour into each other. It should be an equal amount of pouring into each other. You know, obviously people go in ebbs and flows in life, and friends should be there. But when the breakup happens, I feel like it's also equal on each person.
You know what I mean? Like it takes both of you guys to get it to that point.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I feel like because it is a relationship. Friendships are relationships, and like
very intimate for girls too.
Oh, for sure. Especially like, I mean, for me, like I'm the type, and Gaby and I have like talked about this before, even like I'm the type of friend where like I have like kind of, I feel like everyone does like tiers of friends, you know, like friends where we kind of just like see each other out.
Yeah.
Or like just friends online that I have not even met in person ever, but I'm like, you're my Instagram friend or TikTok friend. Yeah. And then there's like friends where like we kind of meet up in person. But then like my
tier
friends,
1,
like I will share everything about myself and like my family, like my insecurities, like, you know, that is like to me very like personal, like very like sacred and like deep. Like I go there with my friends.
And I feel like everyone is different. I have had friends that even if we're tier 1 friends, I've always felt like they were never comfortable sharing every little detail about their life or how they're feeling. And so
how did that make you feel? Like, do you like friendships like that?
So I know everyone is different, and like, yeah, you can blame it on the zodiac signs, but for me personally, I need someone that's gonna match my energy.
Same.
Like, if I'm completely opening up to you, I kind of expect the same in return.
No, I do too. And I don't like when I feel like it feels like uneven.
Yeah.
If you know so much about me and I like don't know as much about you.
Right. Also, like, why do you have your guard up with me when we've known each other, built this really good connection and bond? I should never feel like my friend has their walls up because I don't give that energy to my friends, and I kind of expect the same in return.
Yeah, especially, I mean, because like Gaby and I both have friends that we've been friends with for like some people like recent, and then some people like years. So it's like the friends that you're friends with like for years, like it shouldn't be like any guards up. I don't like that.
I don't like that either. And so like going to that point, I have this one friend, we were best friends like all throughout childhood, and then we went to high school and like went our separate ways and didn't talk like all of high school or all of college. And I think we continued like to follow each other on social media, but it was just kind of like a long break, and then we reconnected after college, and now we're really close again.
Okay.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Like, you can take breaks in friendships.
Totally.
Grow on your own. I've noticed, like, friendships, when you're growing in different directions, it's okay to let that go. Like, maybe in the future you'll reconnect and your bond will be stronger than ever, but that's for friendships that don't end on a sour note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like there's a difference in the seasons where it's just like I have friends where, like, during college we were super close because that made sense because we both lived in Missouri, but then once college ended and I'm in Chicago, like, it makes sense. Like, there was no, like, falling out. We just, like, stopped being as close.
Yeah.
Or friends who, like, during grad school we were super close, but then afterwards they got married, and, you know, so it's like, I think when it naturally, like, goes a separate way, it doesn't feel like a friendship, like, break. I wouldn't call that a friendship breakup.
No.
I would say that, but some people do kind of. I think if you're maybe a little bit, I don't want to say, like, immature, but I think as you get older, you realize that's not a breakup. It's just, like, a change. In the dynamic.
I also think, like, learning to not take everything so personally is a part of growing up. Yeah. And maturing. So yeah, should we, like, talk about the friendships that we've had hard breakups with?
Yeah, because, like, so those are easy ones. The ones where it's like, oh, we're just naturally going our we're growing ways, and then there's, like, fights where, like, you stop being friends with someone on a sour note and, like, unfollow each other and
or, like, remove them as a follower. I feel like I have in my lifetime lost a few friendships because of guys.
Honestly, the one Gabby and I were, like, literally just talking about this. Same.
Which, it sucks in the moment, but in the long run, you come to realize, like, they must have not really been as good of a friend as you thought if they're going to let a man come between your friendship. And I feel like as I've gotten older, I look back at times where I did the same thing. Like, if my friend was with a guy that I didn't like, I'd be like, okay, it's either me or him. Yeah. That's so immature. Like, I'm not going to tell another grown woman what to do nowadays.
But it takes learning that. That's a lesson.
Absolutely.
I even had to, like, I've talked with my therapist, like, for years, where I, like, really wouldn't like some of my friends' boyfriends. And I would, like, talk about my therapist as, like, you know, because some of it is, like, really valid. Like, I had really valid reasons. Some of it, you know, like, this wasn't just like, oh, he's, like, has ugly hair. A bad person. Like, it's, like, his morals. Like, him as a person. Yeah. And it really got to the point where my therapist would really kind of ask me, like, is it worth, like, losing your friendship with this person? Or can you kind of, like, put it in a box? And now where I'm at is, like, I will give my opinion, like, one time. Yeah. I will.
If it's asked for.
Yeah.
Unsolicited opinions.
Yeah. No. But if someone's kind of just like, oh, what do you think? Like, I will always talk. I will say, like, I think it's moving too fast, or I think this concerns me a little. Yeah. Like, I will let it be known. But after that, like, I've learned. I was not always like that. And two, I learned because I was also in a relationship that everybody was telling me was not good, and I did not listen to anyone. And, you know, like, I let space grow between those friends because I was like, they're unsupportive of me and my man. So, like, and then, you know, like, whatever. So, and then we break up and I'm like, hi, you're right. Yeah. So, you know, I learned to, I'm witnessing some friends who I think maybe aren't in the best relationships, and I'm just like, love them. Yeah. Supporting them from afar.
Exactly. You have to let them make their decisions on their own and figure things out, because you really can't make someone change unless they want to change themselves.
No. Oh, no. I mean, and we're too grown for that now. Like, if you're, like you said, we're grown. Like, I'm 30 years old. If that is your man. Yeah. That is your man, girl.
You deal with that. Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel like as we get older, we realize, like, looking back at our past selves and how we were when we were younger, I used to let things eat me up. Like, when I would see my friend in a relationship with a guy that I did not like, it used to, like, literally eat me up inside. Like, why is she with him? She could do so much better.
I would take
Doesn't
it personal.
she see the signs? I take it personal
I
because
would too.
you want what's best for your friends, and it's really hard to see them being treated less than they deserve.
And I feel like I would take it personal because, you know, girls always have talks where we're like, we're only going to accept like this and we're not accepting the bare minimum. And I'd be like, remember when we said that?
Yeah.
Remember when we made that pact that we were not accepting the bare minimum? You're not following through. Like, you know, so that's where I would take it personal, where I'm like, we said we weren't going to like do this, or we weren't going to date like these type of men, or like whatever, or like stop spending time with each other because we're dating someone, and now you are. So like I would take that personal.
I think I've also come to realize, like, the friendships that ended, I'm really good at reflecting, and I feel like 2024 has been my year of reflecting on the past and then moving with intention. So looking back at my friendships that have ended, there were red flags like all along. And I'm the kind of person that wants to see the best in people, whether it's a woman, whether it's a man. Like, I really just want to see the best in someone and believe that they can be who I want them to be, like who I have this image of them.
It's such like, that's like a double-edged sword. Like, it's like nice to want that for people, but ultimately, if you're just holding on to the idea of someone, I feel like it ends up hurting.
Absolutely.
Like you.
Because you really have to accept people for who they are in this moment and not who they can be in the future. But like I was saying, there were red flags all along, like friends that weren't there for me during really hard times because they were focusing on their relationship and a man was their priority, and other friends that didn't make the effort how I made the effort. Like, we both went away to college. I'm sure we both had friends from high school that didn't put in any effort. I felt like every time I would come back to Chicago, I would be the one making plans. I would be the one reaching out. Like, again, I'm learning to meet people halfway while also not wanting to change myself. Like, I am the kind of friend that I want to give you everything you need, but also protect my peace nowadays.
Yeah, I feel like I've changed so much in like what I used to give and like expect back, and like
expecting the same treatment that you're giving is also a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and it's so funny. I just had this conversation yesterday with another friend. Like, I feel like friendships in women is really hard, especially as you get older, and like I'm just gonna say it. Like, I do feel like the more you accomplish and stuff, like things do feel like a competition. I mean, we literally talked about rushing in our last episode, where we're literally judging and like ranking, giving scores. So like women do that to each other. Naturally, subconsciously, whatever. So like, I mean, I feel like friendships in women is just hard, and I'm someone who, like, kind of like you said, like, I like to give. Like, I'm a giver. I also feel like I genuinely can say that I move with the best of intentions. Like, I really don't think I ever do anything like ill intention. There have definitely been things where I look back and I'm like, okay, I could have done that differently. But with like the capacity and skills that I had at that time, that was like the best I could do it. But I will say, if I start to feel like I'm not appreciated, then I do start to like pull back. Like, I'm not like a tit for tat. Like, I did this, so you have to do that, because I just give. But if I start to feel like I'm like, okay, you're not, the energy is not matching, I don't like that.
No, because at the end of the day, like, you expect to be treated how you want to be treated. You accept the love you think you deserve from men and from friends. Absolutely.
And from friends. Because friends, especially as we get older, like, I think friendships right now, it's funny because when we were younger, they were more like dramatic, but right now I feel like friendships are kind of like family. Like, I see my friends sometimes more than I see like my parents. Like, you know, living in the city, being like single, like my friendships are like probably my go-to support system. Like, that's like the people that I talk to and stuff the most. So it's like really important. And like, I did kind of have a friendship breakup, I guess, yeah, we can talk about the not as good ones where I was really hurt by this person because this past winter was like mentally, like, you know, everyone in Chicago jokes like we get like seasonal depression during winter. Yeah, this winter hit me hard. This winter probably hit me like worse than it has. And like I said, I go there with my friend. Like if I think we're like this, like I will go there. And I just feel like this person, it was like too much for them. They like they weren't able to handle it. And I felt like so hurt. Like I was so hurt that they didn't really care.
And I think that just goes to show, like, some people are okay with just having those surface level relationships. But that is not who we are.
No.
Like, if I'm sharing my deepest, darkest thoughts and feelings with someone, I expect us, when there's like drama or like there's something going on between us, I expect us to be able to have those deep conversations.
To talk about it.
Like, it might be hard, it might be uncomfortable, things might be a little awkward for a while, but if you genuinely want to be in my life, you should be able to have those hard conversations and grow from them.
Yeah, and I guess for me too, like it was a moment where it was basically like, oh, like I thought we were this, and you showed me that like we're not. So now I will move differently with you. But
we're also not the kind of people that can just sweep things under the rug and pretend like everything's okay.
Sometimes I wish. Ignorance looks so blissful. Sometimes the bliss really be blissing. Like,
I think I learned that the hard way, like from my father. Like growing up, he still is a raging narcissist. So he would treat me like really badly one day, and then the next day be like, oh, everything's fine, like let's go eat here. And I'm like, no, I'm still really upset about how you talked to me yesterday. I can't have friends like that in my life, where you just pretend, oh, like everything's fine, we don't need to talk about it. No, babes, we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna work through our problems, and we're gonna become better from it. And if you can't give me that energy, then I don't need that kind of friendship in my life.
No, I'm very quick to, and that's the advice, because this is how I look at it, because I like give this advice to students too. Like, I can control my friendships in the sense of like, my job is going to stress me out. I can't quit my job as much as I'd want to. My family's going to stress me out. I can't quit my family as much as I want to. You know, those things I really can't like walk away from. Friends, I know they're not perfect, but like they should not cause me more harm than good. And if it's starting to become more stressful or like harmful, I will end a friendship. I also too recently had to have like a tough conversation where I'm proud though. I think we handled it well, where it was not necessarily a breakup, but I just said she was upset with me, I was upset with her, and I was like, you know, I think right now we both are expecting things that the other person can't give. So how about we just kind of like take a pause? So we're on like a pause right now. Because we were both hurt. And I don't think either of us had the capacity to see the other person's like,
that's hard,
point of view. So I was like, let's just like pause.
And do our own things for a while, and then we can come back. I do think the friendship breakups that are really hard, like those affect us just like a relationship breakup would. And I feel like that's what the people that have requested for us to talk about that, I think that's what they want to hear. Like, how have we worked through those times of like grief after breaking up with a really good friend? I went through super dramatic breakups last year, like relationship and friendship, lost a few friends, and it was hard for me at first because you're grieving the idea of the life that you had with those friends. Like imagining them being your bridesmaids in your wedding. Imagining them, like, we had always said, like, oh, we're gonna be the great tias to each other's babies, like let's have babies at the same time. So it really is like mourning the loss of what you thought your life would be with those people. But then you have to reconnect with yourself. Remind yourself, like, again, reflect, like, what could have gone better in those friendships on your end, but like, what red flags did I ignore because I wanted to see the best in them?
Yeah.
And then find your passions and find people that have the same,
well, that's kind of like when we connected more.
Yeah, like we both love creating content. We found each other on TikTok. I feel like now I'm starting to see myself connect with girls who like content creation because there's no judgment. Like, you understand, like, oh, you need to get that video, you need those
we
pictures,
all pop
like,
out our ring lights.
yes,
like,
the
there's no
lights.
like
No
side
judgment.
eye.
Yeah. I had a friend that would purposely take really bad photos of me and maybe like 5 to 10 pictures and be like, okay, I'm done.
Girl, we need like 50
Girl,
minimum.
you know the brand is sent me this stuff. Like, I need the content.
Yeah, I think that it is hard when you get really used to like a routine. Like you said, like you do kind of grieve that relationship, because one of the friendships where I said like I was hurt that we weren't, clearly we just didn't see each other in the same type of friendship. I hung out with that person like all the time.
Yeah.
And
they were your go-to.
Literally like shifted. Like I was literally like,
yes,
okay, like
I have all this free time.
Yeah, every Saturday morning we'd hang out. And now I'm like, okay, what do I do Saturday mornings now? Like, and two, it's honestly like when people bring up their names, you know, like, oh, you and so. Oh, I haven't seen you with so and so.
Yeah.
And at first you're like, obviously the close, like relationships, like the close people know.
Yeah.
But then like the outer people who don't know, you're just like, oh yeah, I know, I haven't seen them in a while. Because you're not gonna be like messy and like say all of it. Or you're just like, oh yeah, like we're not hanging out as much right now, or oh they're whatever. But like when you hear their name, you're like, yeah, because like people associate you together and stuff. And it's like, it's hard.
You are who you associate yourself with.
Oof.
Friend wise.
And that is also a reason why I have chose to end a friendship like with someone, because of that. Like I really took a step back and looked at who they were, and I was like, oh,
or like who they surround themselves with. Like, oh, you're only friends with people because they're friends with your boyfriend. Like, I'm not gonna be up your boyfriend's ass going to boys' night with you just to be your friend. Like, I want our friendship to be separate from that. But so back to my point, like, you need to find people after you go through a breakup. Find people that have common interests as you. As an adult, it can be really hard. Thankfully, we have social media to help us meet people. Social media is such a good way to make friends as an adult. There are so many run clubs, walk clubs, like coffee.
I'm team walk club.
Yeah. Like reading clubs, like go take dance lessons. Like it's hard, but you have to put yourself out there and step out of your comfort zone in order to make those friendships with people that align with you better.
I really do feel like social media is the best way to find friendships, though. I mean, like, Gaby and I met through TikTok. And then one of my closest friends now, Paige, who I'm like gonna go visit her in LA in like a couple weeks, we met through TikTok too. And it's because we worked at the same university.
Oh, and you didn't know it?
No, because we worked in completely different like areas. But I had like made a video about it kind of on TikTok about like my job. And then she like messaged me and she's like, wait, like I think we work at the same place. So then we like messaged more. Yeah. And this was like during the pandemic. So it's crazy that it's 2024, because it's like, yeah, I've known her for like 4 years now. Yeah. But now we're like really good friends. And I think too, like it's healthy to evolve, you know, like when people are like, oh, like you've changed. Like I hope so, because it's been years.
Yes.
I'm definitely not who I was like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I'm not who I was in college.
No.
In my last my relationships, I'm different.
Yeah.
I've changed a lot after these past couple years being single. I feel like I've really found my identity as like an adult. Yeah. So it makes sense that like maybe that wouldn't align with some friendships.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that like I should kind of find people who are also like into the stuff that I'm into right now. And like I do think same thing with relationships, with friendships. You shouldn't stay somewhere just because you have so much like history.
Yes. Oh my God. That. Yeah. Yes. Ding ding. I feel like the friendships that you have that are long term, sometimes those people can only accept the old version of you.
They don't want to see the new one.
Like high school Gaby was very, I wouldn't say insecure, but not as confident. High school Gaby was very shy, like not as outgoing. High school Gaby's a different person, okay? Like I am so much more confident.
And people probably didn't like that.
They don't want to see me thrive.
Yeah.
And that's not my problem, because at the end of the day, you really have to be observant and pick up on the pieces when someone is insecure in themselves. And you're like the closest person to them. They will project that insecurity onto you.
And that's hard too, because like to an extent we can understand that, obviously, like sure, we're all insecure about things, but when you are like putting that onto me so much, like you said, like the side eye about like making content or like little passive aggressive like comments being made or stuff, like it is really hard. Like it is, you like you said, there's red flags sometimes, and I do think like one friendship like thing that for me, I would say the same way with like dating too, like I have some hard no's, like I have some hard like what is that, deal breakers, deal breaker where it's
non-negotiables.
Like non-negotiables where it's like if you make me feel that way or this or that, like it's really really hard for me to like past it, and especially coming from a woman. And something happened where we're like, one of my friends made me feel like kind of like slut shamed. And I just was like, no, like it can't come from a woman, like that's just so like we already deal with that from men. Like even with one of the reels that we made
on the internet,
I don't even think I sent it to the group chat, but I like deleted it because it was this like awful comment that someone made when I was like, oh, I've been like single or something for the past 3 years, and someone was like, oh, so you've just been being like us for the last 3. So I like deleted that on TikTok. But like, you know, so it's like we get that from men, but I'm not gonna have one of my friends kind of implying like, oh, you're like, so that to me was like a hard no.
Also, you should never feel like you have to dull yourself or bring yourself down just to make other people feel comfortable. I started,
because people will like you how you are. Like, you don't need to do that.
No, I never want to feel like I need to dull my sparkle or shine just to make you feel okay with yourself. Like it with one friend, it got to a point where I felt like I couldn't even do a full face of makeup because she would feel insecure that I looked amazing and was getting attention, whereas she didn't feel confident in herself. Like, I'm sorry, but how you feel about yourself is not my fault. It's not my responsibility. I am my own person doing my living a whole separate life. You need to work on yourself, like discover the root problem of why you even feel like that, because that's not my fault.
No, and that's something too that I feel like when I was younger, maybe I would put up with more, but especially as we get older, for me too, kind of like a non-negotiable with like friendships and relationships, like, bitch, you better be in therapy.
Yes,
you better be in therapy. Like, because we all need it. Like, we all need it. Like, therapy is for everyone. As someone who has like my MSW, like I will be in therapy for forever, because there's you always need a third party person, and therapy has benefited some of my friendships. There are probably times where I was like, F this bitch, blah, blah. My therapist is like, calm down. I'm like, you know what, you're right. Like, you know, and like it chilled me out. So like therapy has probably helped a lot of the ways that I show up for people and stuff. Like, it's not just like, oh, you had to have all this like trauma or whatever. Like, no, it's just like a way to process things.
I would recommend, like, if you have gone through a friendship breakup or a relationship breakup and you're not in therapy, I highly recommend you should get a therapist.
I would say, it's funny, like, I mean, I've been in therapy like for forever.
Same.
So like, but right now,
like on and off.
On and off. But like, so when I was younger, sorry, I have like, you know, lip gloss, something. When I was younger, I would say I did more like, like childhood, family, whatever. But like now, let's talk about, we don't need to talk about that. Present day though, most of my therapy sessions are about dating and friendships, for sure. Like 100%. That's pretty much what they're about. And I talk a lot about friendships, like do I want to maintain that one or like navigating like boundaries with them,
and learning to move on from the friendships that no longer serve us.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember one friendship breakup, like for real, like a real friendship breakup. I like needed my therapist, you know, and like therapists like know what's going on. She's like, you want me to tell you like it's okay to like not be friends with her? And I was like, I do.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me that. And she was like, you already like know that, you know? And like I guess I just felt so much like guilt about ending it or like just like totally kind of like letting it like go.
Yeah.
But she was like, you know, if you're already like kind of asking that or like want that approval, you know, from me and stuff, like like it's not serving you, and like that's okay.
When one door closes, this is so cliche, when one door closes, another one opens. And it's the same with friendships. Like when you end a friend, you know when a friendship needs to end, and when it finally does come to an end, it feels so hard. Like you're experiencing loss, grief, all of that. You have a lot of like regret maybe, but then it opens your life up to letting new people into your life. And this is actually something that one of my coworkers told me, because I told her last year when I was going through all of my breakups, and recently this year she was like, Gabby, you've been thriving ever since you went through all of that shit last year. Like, look at all of these opportunities that have come into your life that wouldn't have happened if you had those friends, that relationship holding you back. Yeah. And she's so right. Shout out to you, girl, because you know who you are.
Even when we got dinner at Andros.
Yes.
That's like one of Gabby and I had like met and stuff, and we would like engage online here and there. But like that's when you kind of like opened up to me more about like the changes in your life. And then that's when we started to get closer. Yeah. And I feel like it literally kind of filled, like you said, like you lost friends who were judgmental and stuff. And then you literally replaced it with friends who now we're doing a podcast together. Like we embrace like the whatever this, I don't know, type of personality and like content creating and like stuff or whatever. But I just like thought of a topic that, have you ever, because Gabby and I both have taken like girls trips. Gabby has one coming up. Yay. And we've done, I think I've done more since I'm a little bit older, but like bachelorette parties and bridesmaids. Thank God stuff. I've never experienced that. Because that, I mean, I don't have like horror stories. Good. I have some stories, but not like complete horror. But like it just reminds me, like I've seen all those ones on like TikTok and stuff, and I do think trips align with it in terms of like budget and like money and like traveling with friends. Like, have you ever had a bad baby? You have? Yeah, okay, please share. And are you still friends?
We are not friends, actually. I feel like I have been lucky enough to have traveled pretty well my entire life, so I know how to travel. When you travel, you have to go with the flow. Yeah. If plans don't work out, like that's okay. Like keep it moving.
And you can't be like a Debbie Downer. Like trips are short, honey. Yes. We can't stay mad for too long. Like we have to kind of be flexible. You do traveling.
So the friendship, like we went on a few trips together, and again, it was just projecting all of her negative feelings onto me, like never happy about this. Oh, this is too expensive, blah, blah, blah. I don't like how I look in this. Like, none of that is my responsibility or my fault. No. And you're actually making me kind of miserable. And this is like my birthday trip, and you're ruining it. Yeah. Anyway, I've learned to my mom says you need to take your chill pills. I've learned to take my chill pills, let things roll off my back because we're stuck together in a different city, different country.
It reminds me of my bad trip to San Francisco with the guy.
Exactly. Like, just like how you travel with guys, you see girls different.
You see girls differently too. Yeah. No, I feel like, I haven't had any super... I mean, I've been on some bachelorette trips where...
That's a lot of personalities, too.
And it was hard. Luckily, I was in the middle of some fighting. I wasn't, like, in it. Like, I wasn't, like, the two people fighting. Okay. I was, like, mediating.
That's good.
Yeah, but it was still like scary.
That's stressful too.
It was so stressful. That was stressful. And then I did another one where I was in the middle of the fighting with the bride. Unfortunately, we're fine, we're besties, but it's hard. Like,
it is.
And and for me, like, what was coming up is like, I was like referencing some things that happened in the past where I was like, I feel like I was like really supportive for you of blank, blank, and blank, and like you're whatever, like it just, when you have so much like history, because these are all like sorority friends and stuff, so like I just, tensions get high, like money, you're spending so much money. I've spent so much money on bridesmaid and I don't regret it at all. Like I've enjoyed it. I have beautiful pictures. I have 20, I don't have 27 dresses yet, but I'm getting there. No, not that bad, but like memories. And I do feel like it is a cool thing to like experience. Like I'm fortunate that my friends did fun ones in like Miami and like Nashville. So like I got all those fun like cliche like bridesmaid like experiences that you see in like movies and stuff. But traveling and stuff, like it's hard.
I think it also teaches you about yourself. Like I've come to realize I need alone time. If I need to go for a walk clear my head.
One more time for the alone time.
Alone time is so important when you're stuck with people 24/7.
And you were just kind of talking about this too with like Gabby's going on a trip soon and I'm going on a trip soon to see a friend, and like Paige and I travel all the time, and I think some of your friends you're going with, you've traveled. You have to be the same type of travelers. Like, I'm someone like, if I'm going to a beach, I'm swimming in the ocean. If you are gonna like hang back and not like do stuff, like we're gonna pretend we're mermaids.
Why are you sitting under the umbrella? We are here to tan. The sun is out. The oil is out.
Yeah, like let's do stuff. Also, this isn't healthy necessarily, but I am one of those people that, honey, like the second we step foot in the airport, what is a budget? I don't know.
Oh my God, yes.
I'm whipping out my card. Yeah. And if someone is like, hey, I'm not comfortable like doing that, okay, that's fine. But I'm saying like I am down.
Yes.
Like Paige and I, dude, I haven't even told you. I land at like 10 a.m. LA Thursday. Disney. We're going straight to Disney. Next day, Dodgers game. Super excited. Yes. I'm trying to find a husband. I'm going to be in the Dodgers game. Oh, I should. You have to make a sign. I should make a sign. You have to. I'm going to say like, I came from Chicago because I saw the TikToks. Like, where are you guys?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Paige would be so dumb. Or for me to do that. She's got a man now. But Dodgers game. Then after that, we're going to Palm Springs. Getting a hotel in Palm Springs, like we're doing stuff, like we're spending money, like like I'm living up. Like why else did I fly here to see you?
I've been budgeting for months to spend money on
like
this trip.
I know like July I'm gonna spend a lot of money like out of Chicago. So when I'm home in Chicago, the month of July I'll be more chill because I know when I go to LA, like I'm gonna be like turned up. So it's like people who like don't embrace that part of traveling, it's like it's not fun.
No, my ex was so cheap when we traveled together. He was like,
you can't be cheap when you're traveling.
Can we just eat in? Can we go to like a cheap restaurant?
Eat in?
Babes, I'm here to experience the culinary life of the city. I want not Michelin, but
I want 5-star dining.
I want good food.
I don't want Chipotle.
Good. We can eat Chipotle at McDonald's at home. Please. No. Please.
Yeah, no, but I'm literally like that. Like we get to the airport, I'm like, who wants to get a margarita? like I said, I get everyone's not like that. Yeah. But and then also on the contrary, I have friends who are in higher socioeconomic statuses brackets than me, where we've had some tension sometimes where I'm like, girl,
let's bring you down to earth.
I've told you multiple times, and it's starting to feel like I have to yell at you, like I'm poor, for you to understand that like I can't do so much. I think it's hard. Like it really does change when you're younger. It's like you weren't in my top 8, blah blah blah, and that felt like the end of the world. Or like if you went and got like dream shots taken and you weren't invited, you were like, okay, so I'm not friends with you guys. And then now it's things like money, like relationships, like it's like the stakes are higher in our friendships now, like the things that we like argue about. I think that's why you do end up really having, I think you do need to have friendship breakups. I think if you're going to sit here and tell me you and your friends are all perfect and you've been friends for a million years and you all love each other, I know you're lying. Someone's not being honest. And someone's lying.
That tells me that you're not comfortable with being uncomfortable and having those hard conversations. Exactly. And again, we don't need that kind of person in our life.
Reasons.
Seasons and reasons.
And I'm totally okay with that too. I also think I share that advice with my students sometimes because they're in college, which is when friendships, they start losing some high school ones or whatever. And I always say that to them too, where I'm like, it doesn't have to be sour. Sometimes they are sour, like you said. Sometimes the endings are sour where there's a hurt, but when it's kind of just this is outgrowing ourselves, I'm grateful. I've had some really 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 great memories with some friends that I'm not super close with right now, but I always wish them the best. Exactly. We support each other online here and there. And I know I haven't met all my friends that I'm gonna meet yet. I'll still probably meet, knowing me, I'll meet someone later today. I'll always find a new friend.
There's hope. So if you're going through a friendship breakup, don't let it discourage you from living your best life, because that breakup will open the doors for
Gaby and
Sophia and I to enter your lives.
Literally. No. So I think, I hope that this was helpful for people, because we definitely got a lot of comments about friendships, which
a little therapeutic,
which is valid. But I think ultimately just always be honest with yourself, communicate, and
be a good friend.
Thank
you for watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye.